A House majority approved the sweeping $1.9 trillion stimulus bill, clearing the House for a third stimulus check, $1,400. This bill is set to aid by vastly expanding the social safety net. Hey y'all, what's that? I'm Rescue, serial entrepreneur, brand and communication strategist, your life guide, investor, and a philanthropist. It's my hope that this video help inspire you to take action now. No, I'm not here to impress you, perhaps to impress upon you that it is all possible to elevate higher. So let's get right into this. This is your life guide. This bill will provide $350 billion for state, local, and governments, and $10 billion for critical state infrastructure projects, $14 billion for distribution of the vaccine, and $130 billion to primary and secondary schools. The bill also includes $30 billion for transit agencies, $45 billion in rental and utilities, and also mortgage assistance. Oh, more $1 billion for small businesses and live performance venues. The federal unemployment payments of $300 per week will be extended through September 6th, and up to $10,200 of jobless aid from last year will be tax-free for households with income below $150,000. It will also provide benefit of $300 per child for those below 6 years of age and $250 per child ages 6 to 17, increasing the value of the child tax credit. Okay, now let's tackle the frequently asked questions that you may have. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button so therefore you can receive your stimulus check faster. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to my channel, so I will be bringing you more videos that you can enjoy and that can inspire you or educate you, or at least edutain you. Stimulus check. How big are the stimulus checks payments in this bill, or who is eligible, right? So the stimulus check, as already mentioned, will be $1,400 for most recipients. Those who are eligible will also receive the same amount of payments for each of their children or dependents. To qualify for the $1,400, as a single person, you will need an adjusted gross income of $75,000 or lower. For head of household, adjusted gross income will need to be about $112,500 or lower, or married couple filing jointly will need $150,000 or less. To be eligible for payment, a person must have a social security number. Unfortunately, TIN number holders will not be eligible for this unless you are a dependent of a qualifying tax filer with a social security number. Well, do college students count as eligible dependents? How about older relatives who live with you? College students whom qualifying taxpayers claim as dependent are eligible. They weren't in the past. This payment will go to the parent taxpayer, not the child. Yep, the same older dependents like your mom, dad, or any relative, regardless of their age, if claimed as dependent, these relatives are also eligible this time around. The payment goes to the qualifying taxpayer, not the dependent adult. Which year of income determines eligibility? The most recent year on record at the IRS. If you've already filed your taxes for this year, it will be 2020. If not, it will be 2019. Is there a partial payment for higher earners? Yes, there is. But the payments are dependent on your income level. It phases out quickly as adjusted gross income rises. For single filers, the check decreases to zero at $80,000. For head of household, the cutoff is about $120,000, and for joint filers, the check stops at $160,000. Payment for children or any dependent decreases the same way. When will your payment arrive? Well, during the last round of payments, the IRS got the first payments out within a matter of days. As before, you should be able to track your status of payment via the IRS Get My Payment tool link down below. You have to actually have patience, as you can imagine, there will be an overflood of requests, overwhelming, upon the IRS. So be patient. A quick message from our sponsors, that's me. Make sure you click and smash the like button and subscribe to our channel. Click that notification bell so if I post any video, you will be one of the first to receive and to get an alert. That. What should you do if still haven't gotten your payment from last time around? Well, if you were in fact qualified to receive payment in the past, you can try to recover through the recovery rebate credit when filing 2020 return. Make your claim on line 30 of Form 1040 or 1040 SR. How does the stimulus bill affect unemployment payments? If you are already receiving unemployment benefits, payment will generally extend for another 25 weeks until September 6, 2021. The weekly supplemental benefit, which is provided on top of your regular benefit, will remain $300 but runs through September 6th. Although unemployment benefits are taxable, this bill makes the first $10,200 of benefits tax-free for people with income less than $150,000. This applies to the tax year of 2021 only. What if you already filed 2020 taxes? How do you claim that tax, that newly created tax break? Well, while we're all not sure certainly how it will happen, there may be an amendment. You may have to file an amendment. But we're hoping that IRS will just figure it out and send out checks automatically. Hopefully, that's what's going to happen. They haven't quite yet released a guideline on this. How do the benefit extension work? The extended benefit will continue to be delivered through the different federal programs, largely based on the type of work you did or for whom. Benefits through the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, which covers the self-employed, gig worker, part-time, and or others who are typically ineligible for regular unemployment benefits, will be not for 50 weeks as before, but now for a total of 79 weeks through September 6, 2021. And benefits through Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program, which essentially extends benefit for people who exhaust their regular state benefit, will be available for a total of 53 weeks, up from 24, also lasting through September 6, 2021. What happens to the supplemental payments? If qualified for any benefits, you will also receive the full $300 supplemental payment for weeks ending after March 14th through September 6th, known as the Federal Pandemic Unemployment Compensation, or FPUC. The bill also extends an extra $100 weekly payment called the Mixed Earner Supplement through September 6th. This payment helps people who have a mix of income from both self-employment and wages paid by other employers, because they are often stuck with lower state issued benefits based on their lower wages. The bill also clarifies that the $300 federal supplement will not be counted when calculating eligibility for Medicaid and Children's Health Insurance Program. The Mixed Earner Supplement, however, will be counted. So let's talk about health insurance. What does the relief bill do about health insurance? Buying insurance through programs known as COBRA becomes a lot cheaper, but only temporary. COBRA, which stands for Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act, generally lets someone who loses a job buy coverage via former employer, but that could be very expensive. Under normal circumstances, a person may have to pay a little over $100% of the cost of the premium. But under this bill, the government will pay the entire COBRA premium from April 1st through September 30th for people who have lost a job or had their hours cut. Again, for 6 months, it will fully cover COBRA health care costs for people who have lost their job and had their hours cut, who buy coverage from former employers. A person who qualifies for new employer-based health insurance someplace else before September 30th loses their eligibility for the no-cost coverage. And someone who left a job voluntarily is not eligible either. Will the cost of health insurance you buy through an exchange be affected? This bill lowers the cost of health insurance in many instances for people who bought their own coverage via government exchange, and the premium for those plans will cost no more than 8.5% of the modified adjusted gross income. These changes will last through the end of 2022 and do not require people to re-enroll to access the lower prices. And now you ask, how do you sign up for health insurance? Well, an open enrollment period is already underway, effective through May 15, 2021. You can also switch plans or try to find the cheapest coverage you possibly can during this time. How about taxes? Yes, taxes. What will this bill change about the child and dependent care tax credit? This credit will help working families offset the cost of care for children under 13 and other dependents. Will significantly be expanded for a single year. Recipients will get much bigger break. This bill will also make the credit fully refundable, which means you could collect the money as a refund, and even if your tax bill was zero. This is a huge help, especially for children or child poverty for most, those who are in the lower bracket. How much will the credit be worth? Well, let's try to break it down. The new bill will make the credit worth up to $4,000 for one qualifying individual or $8,000 for two or more. The credit will be calculated by the credit will be calculated by taking up to 50% of the value of eligible expenses up to a certain limit, depending on your income. The more you earn, the lower the percentage you can claim. Currently, the credit is generally worth between 20 to 35% of eligible expenses, with a maximum value of $2,100 for two or more qualifying individuals. The bill will also significantly increase the income level at which the credit begins to be reduced. Under the current law, that starts at an adjusted gross income of $15,000, but the bill will make the full value of the credit available to households making up to $125,000. Under the current law, before this bill, the credit is not further reduced below 20%, regardless of income. This bill, however, puts it into law that you will begin to reduce the credit below 20% for households with income of more than $400,000. These changes are, however, only for 2021. How will the bill change child tax credit? Well, this bill will make the credit more generous for 2021, particularly for low and middle income people. Currently, the credit is worth up to $2,000 per eligible child. This bill increases it as much as $3,000 per child, $3,600 for ages 6 and below. It raises the age limit for qualifying children to 17 years old from 16. A quicker way for you to receive your stimulus check or any benefit is for you to go ahead and smash that like button, click that notification bell, and subscribe to my channel, and your stimulus check will get to you faster. Do it now. Now, You ask, will this bill change how the credit worked? Yes, somewhat. Here's where it actually gets pretty interesting. You could receive some of the credit as an advance on your 2021 taxes. The bill will make the credit fully refundable, which means you can receive monthly money from it as tax refund even if your tax bill is reduced to zero. A half of that money could be advanced to households over the next 6 months based on their 2020 tax information or 2021 tax information. It will depend on which one is available. You could receive payments as frequently as monthly, but under the bill, this will begin in July of 2021. Who will be eligible, you ask, for this tax credit? Married couples who have modified adjusted gross income up to $150,000 or head of household who earn up to $112,500 and single fathers up to $75,000 will receive the full value of the new benefit. But after that, the extra amount above the original $2,000 credit, either $1,000 or $1,600 per child, is reduced by $50 for every $1,000 in modified adjusted gross income that exceeds those levels. For extra amounts, will be phased out about $170,000. How will the advance payment work? The advance payment will total up to half of the value of the credit the household is eligible to receive. The other half will be claimed on 2021 tax, but exactly how often payment will be sent out depends on what the Treasury Department decides possible or feasible. Here's how it might work for a couple earning $150,000 or less. With 2 children aged 7 and 9, they will be eligible for $6,000 tax credit. That's $3,000 times 2. If the payments were made monthly, the family will actually receive $500 per month starting in July of 2021 and lasting through the end of this year. The remaining $3,000 will be claimed on their 2021 tax return. Does this bill increase the earned income tax credit? Yep, it sure does. For 2021, only the bill increased for childless households the size of the earned income tax credit, which helps those at the lower end of the income scale and make more taxpayer eligible. The maximum credit amount for childless people will increase to $1,502 from $543. The bill will also broaden the age range. People without children will be able to claim the credit beginning at the age of 19 instead of 25, with the exception of certain category of full-time students. The upper age limit, 65 years old, will also be eliminated. You may have been separated, so you're wondering, how will separated spouses be affected? Married but separated people could be treated as not married for the purpose of the credit if they don't file a joint tax return. This will apply only if the taxpayer lived with a qualified child for more than half of the taxpayer year and didn't have the same principal home as the spouse at least 6 months of the year. A separation decree or agreement will also suffice as long as the individual didn't live with the spouse by the end of the taxable year. This change, however, will be permanent. Now let's move on to student loans. What student loan changes are included in this bill? There will be a big one for people who already have debt. You wouldn't have to pay income taxes on forgiven debt if you qualify for a loan forgiveness or cancellation. Just in case you didn't know, any forgiven debt usually accrue taxes of such amount. Now, not this time. For example, if you've been given an income-driven repayment plan for the requisite number of years, if your school defrauded you, or if Congress or the president wipes away $10,000 as Joe Biden promised, right, of debt of large number, for large number of people, you wouldn't have to pay a dime for taxes for this time around. This will be the case for debt forgiving between January 1st, 2021 and the end of 2025. How about housing, you ask? What will the bill do to help people with housing? This bill will provide billions of dollars in rental and utility assistance to people who are struggling and in danger of being evicted from their homes. Nearly $22 billion. $22 billion will go towards emergency rental assistance. The vast majority of it will replenish the so-called Coronavirus Relief Fund created by the CARES Act and distributed through state, local, and governments, according to the National Low Income Housing Coalition, reported to the New York Times, recently. Mind you, that's on top of $25 billion in the assistance provided by the relief package passed in December of 2020. Now, to receive financial assistance which could be used for rent, utilities, and other house expenses, households will have to meet several conditions. Household income could not exceed 80% of the area median income. At least one household member must be at risk of homelessness or housing instability, and individuals will have to qualify for unemployment benefit or have experienced financial hardship directly or indirectly because of the pandemic. Lower income families that have been unemployed for 3 months or more will be given priority for the assistance. If there are anything for homeowners, you ask? Well, hold up, I'm not done yet. Yes, there is. The newly passed bill provides $10 billion to help homeowners struggling with mortgage payments, utility bills, and housing costs. Roughly $100 million will be dedicated to housing counseling, which help with both homeowners and renters remain in their homes. Now, last but not the least, certainly not the least, how about homeless people? Well, about $5 billion will be allocated to help the homelessness, which will help provide, socially distanced housing, including the conversion of properties like motel into shelters, like California and other states are already doing. Another $5 billion will be used for emergency housing vouchers, which will help several groups of people from the homeless to people at risk of homelessness, including survivors of domestic violence, and these will help them find stable housing. That is huge. Now, mind you, this is a huge deal for the American people. Unfortunately, none of these Republicans supported this bill. That is just unfortunate. But the good thing is, this is on its way to really help the American people that actually needs the help. Well, folks, I appreciate you for your time. Please click and smash the like, love, and thumbs up button as in a way to support and encourage for me to create more videos to inspire others. It also helps the algorithm populate the message faster to those who need to see, watch, or hear this message. In fact, send this video to 2 or 3 people or more right away. I intend to share some great times with you through more videos. Go ahead and check down below for some resourceful links that can help you with your life's journey. That's about it for now. Remember, knowledge is power, but the application of knowledge is powerful. You have greatness within you, so tap into it. Until next time, I'm Rescue, and this is your life guide. One thing you must do, however, is to make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so therefore you can receive your stimulus check faster. And by all means, share this video with a friend or two so they can be educated on what's going on so you can also benefit. Do it now. If you still haven't already, make sure you click that notification bell, subscribe, and you will be one of the first to receive videos whenever I post a new video. Thank you for watching.